I would like to speak a little bit about a distant cousin, Fae V. Moore. He was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, and he was from the same little area that I grew up in. Actually, I didn't know him because I wasn't born when he was killed in the Battle of Tarawa during World War II. And he was missing for 75 years. And a few years ago, his remains were found along with the rest of his platoon in a grave site on Tarawa, but he actually got killed on a little island called Batillo. He was just one of the everyday guys until he joined the Marine Corps. And by the time World War II broke out, he was a sergeant already. Once he was killed and the battle raged on, most of his platoon was killed, and they were all collected up and put in a mass grave so that Graves Registration could come back and find them later and take care of their remains. So Graves Registration went back to the location where they were told these guys would be, and they couldn't find them. So they laid there until the mid-2010s, and they found them under a parking lot on Tarawa. Well, when they got to Shadron, there's only one stoplight in Shadron, and it was shut off and the road was closed to bring Fae into there. Well, they took him right to the funeral home there in Shadron, and they had things planned for him for 2 or 3 days in Shadron. When they had the final service there at the mortuary in Shadron, they loaded him up, they had him out to our family cemetery. As we left Shadron, there were people lined. This is a little town, less than 7,000 people. And there was people all down the city streets and clear out the half mile going out of town with flags and honoring his return after 75 years. But we get him out almost to the cemetery, and the only thing left there was a plaque saying this used to be a church. So the hearse pulled into that parking lot, and the Marines got out and took his remains from the hearse and put them on that wagon, and then that last quarter of a mile, long, lonely trip down that dirt road to the cemetery. They did a wonderful job with his interment, and it was the type of honor I felt that should be paid, especially to anyone who's given their all, their life, their future to their country. That's the just of Fae V. Moore, coming back from the Tarawa battle in the South Pacific.